So some people sometimes like look down because my country is developing.
I have had people tell me that I smell like curry.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
There definitely are bad incidents, but compared to other countries, I feel like still Korea is.
Korea. I can say like the 99.5%. I have very good experience in Korea.
Honestly, nowadays the image of India, Desi, everything's like going
Changing,
changing
yes. It's
and
going
going
up.
better
Yes.
because like business reports are coming out and saying like India is going to be the next big
Definitely.
superpower.
Korean ambassador in Pakistan was so happy. He invited me to the embassy, and then he asked me to apply for a Korean government scholarship. I was
And you
"Wow."
got it.
And I got it.
Wow. Bringing Korea one slice closer to the world with extraordinary and fun toppings. Welcome to the Korean Pizza Club, KPC. I'm your host, David Kim, and today we have special guests as usual. Please introduce yourselves, starting with...
Ladies first.
Ladies first, okay.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Yukta and I am from India. I am a student and a model in South Korea, and I'm just glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, thank you for being here. And we go on to...
Hello everyone. My name is Neha. I'm a YouTuber and office employee, office worker.
You have a YouTube channel as
Yes,
well, a big
YouTube,
one.
Yes.
Please
Not
introduce that.
Not that big.
It's pretty big.
So me and my husband, who is a Korean, so we make like random vlogs about our daily life, some challenges. My channel name is My Love from Korea.
Aw.
Actually, my channel is inspired from one very famous Korean drama. Like long time back, there's a drama name is My Love from Another Star.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that drama, and so when I watched, I cried a lot while watching that. So that's the name was discovered, like My Love from Korea.
Okay, that's a cute name. That's
That
nice.
is an
That's
emotional drama.
Yeah.
My first drama ever. That I
Yeah,
watched.
that's so nice.
And then we have...
Hi everyone. 안녕하세요. Ni hao. Hola. Bonjour. And assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
So this is Majid Mushtaq. I'm from Pakistan. I've been living here for almost 8 years.
Ooh.
I'm a freelancer. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm a blogger. Yeah, that's what I do.
And I just had to invite Majid here because whenever I'm scrolling through my phone before I sleep, I see this one Korean ambassador and he's better than the actual
He is,
Korea
he is.
ambassadors out there. He's like, reasons you should come to Korea. And then like amazing footages and stuff. And I was like, oh, I should go to Korea. Wait, I am in Korea. So yeah, I've definitely seen so much of his reels, shorts, and Instagram. So yeah, go check him out as well. I don't know much about Desi. But I'm hoping someone can enlighten me and explain what Desi culture is.
Okay, so I will explain a little bit. It's actually difficult to explain because it's more like a emotion. Like
Yeah.
Desi is more like an emotion. But if you search, like the Desi means is like somebody who is from India,
Yeah.
Pakistan, or Bangladesh, Sri
Right.
Lanka. So these people are called Desi, and I'll say more like a local.
So like
in
the
that area.
whole brown community.
Yeah,
in
Okay.
brown
general.
community.
Okay.
And they use it like Desi food, Desi music,
Desi music.
Desi people.
Yeah, Desi
like
by
that.
heart.
Desi by heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are Desi by heart.
We actually
Yeah.
associate this term. Like
Yes.
we love this term when someone calls it, you're Desi or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So obviously, we need to hear your stories on how each and every one of you got to Korea. What made you come here? What has been your experience like so far in Korea?
So I guess I've been here more than any of you guys, right? Being
Yes,
here 8 years.
Wow.
You're so old.
That's really
You're so
long.
old.
I'm so old, guys. So my story starts back in 2013.
13.
13,
Long
yeah.
time
Like
back.
10 years,
It's a
exactly 10 years
decade
ago.
ago.
I was
Yeah.
in United States.
Okay.
And I was there on a cultural exchange program, and there my best friends were Koreans. At that time, the only thing I knew about Korea was Samsung, LG, and Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam
And at that time, I used to sing it as like open Gangnam Style,
Open
not like
Gangnam
Oppa.
Style.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was my whole knowledge. But then I met my Korean friends, and then they introduced me to some Korean K-pop. They introduced me to kimchi, some other Korean foods.
Okay.
And I was like, after I go back to Pakistan, maybe someday I'm gonna go and visit Korea. Well, in 2014, when I was back in Pakistan, there was a video competition by Ari Rang. Like
Okay.
the TV channel, and the topic of the the video competition was my best Korean friend.
Oh.
So since I was in States and I had my best friends Koreans, I made a lot of videos with them. I took a lot of photos. So I was like, let's go and apply for that. Maybe I'm going to win something. So I applied. I participated in that video competition. And I was the only one in top 20 in the world, Pakistani, who were in the top 20s.
That's
Wow.
lovely. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But like right now when I go back and look at that video, I was like, oh man, Majid, your video skill, that was terrible.
That's okay.
but still.
It's 2013.
In 2013, I used Windows Movie Maker. But still, like I feel like people could associate it with that, the emotions I had with those Korean friends. Anyway, so I was the only Pakistani. So the Korean ambassador in Pakistan was so happy because there is some Pakistani who loves Korea so much. So he invited me to the embassy. He gave me a lot of prizes.
Wow.
And then he asked me to apply for a Korean government scholarship. And he was like, you may apply. And if you get it, it's like fully funded scholarship.
Oh, yeah.
That's lovely.
I was
And
like,
you
wow.
got it.
And I got it.
Wow.
And then I
He
came
is
to Korea.
brilliant.
That's crazy. Wow. And then ever since you've been in Korea
And
for
then
8
I'm
years.
like, now it's my second
Your
homeland.
relation with Korea started that time.
Wow.
That's
Now
so
I like-
nice.
And actually, I've heard not only Indians, Pakistanis, but like even like just foreigners from all around the world, they are so hungry for those scholarships.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're like, I just want this scholarship, please. Like this time I'm applying, please. I want it. But like, you're so lucky. Like that's
it's
so
like
good.
a very prestigious scholarship,
Yeah.
that covers
One of
everything.
the
Everything,
best.
yeah. Your
Everything.
allowances, like you get the monthly allowances.
Monthly
Yes.
allowance,
Yeah.
airfare, even your
And
flight
if you
is free.
speak, and if you speak
Flight.
Korean,
Yeah,
your
even-
allowance is higher.
Higher.
So I got to know about this scholarship like when I came to Korea, and I was like, I felt like envy with the people who got this. I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't I apply for this? Like, I never knew about this scholarship back there. Like,
So yeah, now I came to then I came to Korea, and now like I have been in love with Korea so much.
That's amazing.
Like,
So
like
you-
I always say, if Korea was a lady, I would have proposed her by now. That's how much I love Korea.
Okay, well, we can get into dating a little bit later, but yeah. So Neha, how did you come to Korea?
okay, so my story starts like in 2014, like in India, Delhi. So I started working in a Korean company. So I didn't know anything about Korea. In my company, I met my husband.
Oh,
So
We know where it's gonna go now.
wow.
So we dated for 4 years. 4 to 5 years we dated. Yeah, he was in India for 4 years that time. Because of me, actually, he stayed longer. He
nice.
just came to India for just exploring like the Indian culture. And then he came back to India like after COVID.
Yeah.
And then we decided to get married.
Wow.
And then rest is like I'm here
A
since.
true love story.
Yes.
So you can say I came to Korea for love.
For love.
Wow.
That's so nice.
Wow. A prestigious scholarship, true love.
True love.
How better can it get from here? You better have a good story.
I hope my story suffices.
Okay, let's see.
So for me, like it started for Majid in 2013. It started for me in 2015. I used to come to Korea for summer vacation.
Okay.
Because my dad was working here actively for 5 years. And he was working for a shipping company. So whenever I would come here on vacation, I got to experience Korean culture and Korean food. And I genuinely started liking it. Plus, as I was a kid, I had interest in history and like politics.
As you were a kid, I was thinking like, oh, I had interest in K-pop, like, but history and politics. Not an average kid.
I think it's the educational background that is emphasized on in India. So
Okay.
in history and politics, and I thought that not much had been specified about East Asia. So I was very interested in Korean culture and Japanese culture and Chinese relations as well. So I ended up applying to Yonsei University
Wow.
with economics as my preferred subject.
Top University of Korea.
Wow.
And I ended up getting in. And currently, I'm not majoring in economics, but I'm double majoring in international relations. So diplomacy and like finance and everything.
Beyonce.
Yes. And my second major is design related because I like
Wow.
I have interest in design too. So culture design management.
But you do modeling as well.
Yes, I do modeling
She's
on the
all rounder.
How many
side as
hours
well.
a day? Hours a day do you have 24 hours or 48 hours? You like,
It
how
feels
can you do
still less.
everything?
Two bodies.
24 hours genuinely feels so less for me.
Wow.
But wow, how did I get these people here? Like, she got interested in history and politics and she came to Korea. I've never heard that kind of entrance route before. Like, it's usually, I like BTS. I like, I don't know, K-drama, stuff like that. But okay, we have some elite people here today. So yeah, that was a nice story. We talk about cultural differences on Korean Pizza Club. So are there any shocking cultural differences you've experienced in Korea?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
There's so many.
There are.
Okay, just give us the best like the
ones.
most shocking.
I will go first.
Okay.
Sorry. The working culture. The
working culture.
Work culture in Korean company or in Korea is very hard.
Oh, how is it?
Okay, so in Korean company, the hierarchy is very important.
Hierarchy, yeah?
Yes. So in some companies, it's like the boss is sitting, you cannot go to your home
Yeah, true.
until the boss is there. So it's very
nunchi.
nunchi.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to go for dinners, but because the colleagues are going for a dinner, and you have to go with them. And they are very frequent dinners. Hanshik, that's called hanshik.
Heshik.
Hanshik. Hanshik is
It's
Korean food. So I was like, yeah, that could work too. They go for Korean food.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also
sorry,
both.
heshik, yeah.
Yeah.
So like somebody who's on diet or doesn't want to eat food, like, so they also have to go. Otherwise, it looks weird. And the Korean people are very hardworking, actually.
Yeah.
So like the work is the most priority for them. And
It's pretty intense, right? Nobody
yes.
goes home.
Yes,
and then
yes.
after work, they go to Heshiks and drink shots,
and
shots.
you don't
Soju.
you don't get paid for the extra hours.
Right.
And not just like you have to work hard, you have to show that you are working hard. Sometimes like there is no work to do, but still like everybody shows that
Yes,
we are
that's
working, we are
true.
working.
They're
we are
just
working.
probably chatting on Kakao Talk or
Yes.
doing
Yeah.
internet shopping or whatever. Yeah.
And there's one thing, like boss is always right in like Korean company, like always you have to say yes to the boss, always like so it was difficult, but as it was my first company and that's how I was molded, so I feel that's like that made me grow well. And but see, Indian companies actually follow little bit like Western style, Western
really?
Western working culture, like MNCs, like multicultural companies.
Interesting.
They follow the Western style. Like they have a like they can easily work from home. Like if you don't have a work, sometimes you can go back to your home. It's okay. Like your targets are you're done with your target. Sometimes you can relax. But in Korean companies, even though my like the very senior person, you don't have work, but you have to sit in the office. You have to pretend that you are working. You have to be on the time. Like it is good, but sometimes it's little harsh. I can say.
I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah. So the working culture is like very different.
Yeah, but you mentioned that it made you strong.
Yeah, it made me strong. Definitely, it made me strong.
It shouldn't be that way, honestly. Korean companies need to learn from India, honestly.
Yes.
Like half of Silicon Valley is Indians. CEOs are all Indians. Like some prime minister is Indian descent. Like India is conquering the world right now, and there's a reason to it. So yeah, we need to learn a lot from India.
But at the same time, there are a lot of things to learn from Korean
Korea as
people.
well,
Like
yes.
because I see the people are so hardworking. The work is so priority for them, and not expecting
And
anything.
they're
like,
always on time.
they're always on time. That's like
I respect
So
that.
you guys are not on time? What?
Well, like in India, you have this thing called Indian time.
Yes.
So if you are, for example, you're invited to a party or a wedding, usually people show up like an hour
Yeah.
or like an
Early.
hour or late.
No, late.
Oh, what?
Because if you reach early,
Usually people show up an hour late.
because
Wow.
according to Indian time, you're not supposed to show up that early because if you show up that early, things will already like still be in the progress of
Oh, really?
setting up. And
Oh, so that's in the culture and everybody
that's in
shares it.
our like you can say in our soul, like
Yeah,
to be
in our
late.
blood.
To be-
Blood.
yes. So in our blood, like
Yes.
you should be late. Like everything is
Pakistan
delayed.
and India, we may have a lot of different cultural differences, but there are two things that we both have the same thing.
Yeah.
Our passion for cricket,
Yeah.
and we both are late.
Late. Yeah, this is called Desi thing. Like, Desi thing, like
Desi
to be
thing,
late.
Desi thing.
Otherwise, if you reach on time, like they don't take you seriously. They feel like, maybe they have like a lot of free
lot of
time.
free
They-
time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's that's a very different perspective.
That's very weird,
Yes.
but yeah, this is like actually for foreigners, like the Korean people who are working in India, it is so difficult for them to work with like in the starting, it's so difficult to work and
Yeah.
understand our like body language
Right.
and our mindset,
And also like the deadlines and everything, and like keep up with
everything
them.
is
Yeah.
delayed, man.
Yes.
Everything.
Everything's
Because one of my most like best friends, she's doing her master's in New York right now, and she says like in her what do you call it, department, in her major, like half of the people are Indian there, and so she ends up doing a lot of team projects with Indian people, and she's like, okay, let's meet at noon, and then they don't show up until 2 p.m. She's like all by herself in the meeting room, and it's like, when are they coming? And after a semester, now she comes up like she comes 2
Yeah.
hours late too.
Yes, it's understandable.
Yeah, it's then you understand. You get to know like, okay, this is how it will be.
Okay, verified.
So same in Pakistan. Like we have, there's like PST, like Pakistani Standard Time, and there is Pakistani time.
Yes.
Oh.
So Pakistani time is always 1 hour after
After, yeah.
Pakistani Standard Time.
And like that is like one of the positives you learn, and another, like for me also, like a positive culture shock was how Koreans like they dress up for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it really has taught me to be presentable for every occasion, because
Exactly.
in a way, the way you present yourself does matter.
Yes.
So it was a positive culture shock, because I wasn't putting this much effort into myself and presenting myself when I was in India. But I understood the value of it after coming to Korea, because it helps you gain more opportunities. And they like, you know, I know it is a bit superficial to judge somebody based on their appearance, but at the end of the day, they do like presentation does matter. So that was a positive culture shock for me.
Wow.
But I agree with her. Like it makes you more presentable. But there is some like negative side also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Suffocating
because
sometimes.
Korean people love to dress up well for everything.
Thing.
Yeah, even though they are going to the convenience
Convenience
store.
store, I know.
This is so strange for me. Like if I came to Korea many times, like on business trip, but that time I was coming for just the business for only a week. So I didn't know about Korea that well. So when I came to Korea and I wanted to go to just a convenience store like near my house, so I'm going in my pajamas, and my husband saying, "Why are you going like in pajamas?" So I was like, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I?
It gets
like
toxic.
my hairs are my hair is messy, and he's like, "Don't go like that. You look so weird." So and actually, okay. So this is what he said, but I felt myself also like they don't wear pajamas.
Yeah.
I wear pajamas to the
So there
convenience
is
store.
like unspoken pressure of looking good
Yes.
all the time, and to look certain way.
Yes, and it gets toxic.
Yes.
But like that is also like a different concept as well, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so sometimes it gives you the mental the
Pressure.
pressure.
It has pros and cons.
Yeah,
pros
and
and
honestly,
cons.
I think I relate more to the Desi side because
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always like people know on my channel I'm always late. I'm always laid back, and I always say like you live longer if you're late, like less
Yes, yes.
stress.
Do you have a lot of
Life is
Indian or
small.
Pakistani friends, I guess?
Not yet, but now I do.
Maybe your soul is Desi.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, like the Kim family is married. Like our ancestors married with
Yes, yeah,
Indian
with the
parents.
Yes,
Indians.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So like, yeah, we
You
are
have
related.
that
You have
aspect in your
that.
blood also.
Right,
That's it.
right. So I want people, Korean people, to be a little bit more laid back and
Yeah,
chill. Like
yeah,
they're
true.
too
Yeah.
uptight sometimes.
You're too uptight.
I agree
In
with
terms
that.
of looks, in terms of so I want to be so relaxed with my look. I don't want to care about it
Yes.
all the time. Okay, sometimes I want to dress up. Sometimes I don't.
Don't want to,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm just going to the E-Mart. Okay, I don't want to dress up. I don't want to even comb my hair. Okay, I just want to go in my pajamas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
not
you know,
care.
like for my classes, sometimes there are people who come for 9 a.m. classes completely dressed
Dressed-
well.
yeah.
And I look
How
at
do
them
they do
like,
that?
why are you dressed like you want to be here?
Yeah.
Like why are you dressed like you actually want to be here?
So I tell my sister, you know, like she watches a lot of Korean drama. So I say like the dressing sense which you see in the Korean dramas now,
It's actually-
it's true.
True.
It
It's
is true.
accurate.
It is
Just
true.
like people with the trench coat, nice blazers, like
Yes.
good suits. So they're actually wearing. So yeah, it's good also. It's like, but pressure also.
Sure, also.
Koreans have this thing for hot places and food.
Right.
And they will stand in long
the line,
lines.
that's the thing, that's the thing.
But
Yeah,
then
that is
you
the thing,
taste
yeah.
the
That's true.
food and
Yeah.
it just tastes average,
Average.
or below average.
Yes.
You
And there is a particular term for that, like going to a very hot places.
Yeah, people just
And it's
like riding
for
the hype
Instagram.
train.
Hype train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hype train.
And then the food is just absolutely
That's
average
normal,
person.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
like as a
Terrible.
Korean to explain that, like people are very trend savvy. They like to
Yeah.
chase the hype, and that's because when you are in your circle and you hang out with your friends, they're like, "Have you been to this place? It's really
Yes,
hot."
yes,
true,
Like if you
true.
haven't, you get left out. So
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
"I
And
need
you
to go to that
see
place."
whole of the Seoul is there. Like you saw whole of the Korea is
Yes.
standing there.
there.
Right,
You can
right.
find them there.
Like hours and hours.
Yeah,
It's
hours and hours.
crazy.
Like, I've also noticed that every year they have like a trending dessert. So one
Trending
year,
dessert,
yeah. So
yeah.
one year you have donuts. The next year you have like croffles.
You're right, you're right.
And I don't know what is it for this year, but it's so interesting to me that it's like there's a new trend
Oh,
every
this
year.
year is yakwa. Have you tried yakwa?
No.
What is
It's
yakwa?
like honey. I don't even know how to. It's
Honey
like
bread?
No, it's like a biscuit, but it's covered with honey, and
Okay.
it became famous because it was featured on Ginny's Kitchen, the show. where
So now
BTS
everyone
video-
would like to try this.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
there
And
was
I'm
there was
interested.
a Pokemon bread.
Oh.
And
Yes.
it got so popular. Like
Pokemon
you,
bread.
you couldn't even find
Find
it.
it. People
Wow.
are
From
standing
all
in
over
lines.
the convenience
Yeah.
stores in all over the Korea. It was sold out.
Wait, but
Yes.
in Desi culture, does not
No.
things like this not happen?
No, not that
People
much.
not
that often.
into hype and stuff.
You know, I don't know because
I
the
mean,
country is so huge.
yes.
I don't know. Like,
Right.
But you
because I
never find
no.
like someone waiting for food for 2
2
hours.
hours,
yes,
Like, that's
yes.
not that
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Okay. I mean, your countries are so big, so
Yes.
many people,
Even for
diversity and stuff.
Even
so.
for the places, I feel like everyone reaches at the same place, like on Sundays or Cherry Blossom or somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
So there's so much crowd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't like that.
And like even for celebrities as trendsetters, like people will see the hype and they'll be like, okay, I like that or I do not like that, but they won't really necessarily follow it.
Yeah.
So it's not a big culture in India
okay.
or Pakistan, like in
Pakistan.
Desi culture.
Yes,
Yeah, so for me, like because Pakistan is a Islamic religious country, right? So in Pakistan, you cannot find soju or beer
Oh,
or
right.
alcohol at all.
Right.
So like for me, when I first came to Korea, like that was one of the biggest cultural shock for me because
Yeah.
everywhere you can find people drink. If they are sad, they want to go for drink. If they're happy, they want to go for
drinking.
drink. If
Drinking,
they're
yeah.
some big event, they want to go for drink. If they want to on for as an icebreaker, they're like, oh, let's just go hang out,
Yes.
let's drink. So this drinking culture is quite strong. It's part of their
Yes,
culture.
yes.
But in Pakistan, it doesn't happen. You don't find beer or alcohol like
So
that.
most of the people are Muslim?
A lot, yeah, like 90
okay.
plus people.
Oh,
are,
okay.
So a lot of time Koreans ask me, like, how do you guys party? How do you guys enjoy? You know what I- you know
Even,
what-
even I asked him the same question.
We
like,
dance.
we dance,
We
but
dance.
we have even something better than soju.
What?
What is it?
Chai.
Yes,
Chai.
oh my gosh.
The
Chai
tea.
gives you
But it gives you
masala?
energy, it gives you
Yeah.
happiness. Like, what we do is
milk
when
tea. Milk tea.
milk tea. What we do with friends, we just go out. We go out for tea a lot. Like
Yes.
in that small shops, small dhabas.
Chai and pakode.
Pakode.
Yes,
That's
like
what we do.
fried onions or fried potatoes or fried chilies.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. It's
So
like
that was
French
a-
fries and beer. Oh, so you drink tea and then you start dancing?
No.
You don't get high.
Like I would like as you're talking about the dancing thing. For Indians or for Desi people, dancing is as enjoyable as Koreans like the singing.
Yes.
okay.
Like
Don't you
as
go
much
to-
as much as
Exactly.
Koreans love singing,
Yes.
we love dancing.
Dancing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When we are happy, we are enjoying. We want to dance.
Dance.
Because like that's kind of a stereotype because we see it so much in Bollywood movies.
yes,
Like
yes.
suddenly people dancing all together. How much of that is actually true?
Okay, it doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah, like it's not like we're a flash mob, but because Bollywood has such easy hook steps to dance to,
Okay.
usually if you were to go to a wedding or any party or for that matter, you will see people doing the exact same steps
really?
because they remember that. And it's
oh.
just like Desi people could go dancing on for hours and hours,
Wow.
even if your feet hurt,
Wow.
because it's such a lovely thing to do together.
Yes.
And the beats are very catchy. Like
Yes.
it automatically makes you want to dance.
Dance.
Dance to
Okay,
them.
okay. And yesterday, I think I recall seeing Majid's Instagram stories.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people were dancing in your stories.
Yes, I suggested him that even.
What was that?
So it it was like an Indian festival. So Neha actually invited me. So they were playing Punjabi, which is part of a region in India, and there's a Punjab in Pakistan too.
Yes.
So the Indian region, they were playing that song, and it was so fun to dance along those beats. Amazing people. It was free for everyone. Anyone could go there. I had a lot of fun there.
So one question, how is like the Desi community in Korea? Is it big? Like how do you guys gather? Like where do you guys meet?
That's a good question.
In a sense, like people will not expect these many Indians to be in Korea, but the community is big, but yet it's small because you kind of know everybody.
Everybody
Or
knows
you
everyone.
have mutuals with everyone. Like I have mutuals with Neha Di.
So we met first time, but we
First
knew
time.
like
Knew-
knew each
yeah.
other. Yeah.
I guess like in Pakistan, so because Pakistan has some working visa with South Korea, so a lot of Pakistanis come here on working visa. So we have almost 30,000 plus Pakistanis living in Korea. When it comes to Indian community, I guess like when I first came to Korea in 2015, I hardly used to see Indians. But
Yes.
Now
everybody
they're growing.
so many Indians.
There's
just
so
like that.
Many, it's growing, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy to see like
exactly.
more Desi people in like Korea. Yeah.
And I think like just a K-pop thing, but there's two K-pop idols who are Indian now.
Oh,
So,
yes, yes,
That's
yes,
really
yes,
nice to
Sin,
see
right?
as well.
Yeah.
So
There are
Shreya
two
from
girls.
Black Swan.
Black
Shreya
Swan.
from Black Swan, and I think her name is Arya from.
I don't know the name, but yeah, there is
her,
one more.
Her actual name is Gautami.
Okay.
She's from Kerala, and she's in the group called XIN.
Yeah, Sin or XIN.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but maybe she can come on KPC
Yes.
and join us. Yeah, but it's really good to hear that the Desi community in Korea
So
is
we
growing.
have some student organizations. So Pakistan has Pakistani student organization. The Indians have Indian student
Indians.
organization, and they have these kind of festivals. Like they have Holi festival.
Holy
I have been to
festival
Holi
is so
festival
big,
a lot of
like-
time.
Yes.
You know, like back in Pakistan, I know that because of some political issues, you know, we some people are like, you know, kind of very how you call it, conservative. But when you go abroad, I have a lot of good Indian friends.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
same.
love
I have a
Indian
lot of
people.
good Pakistani
Yeah,
friends too.
amazing. Yeah, so that's the Desi community. Like, you know, doesn't without any
Yes.
borders, all of them together in one place.
You know, the politics of a country do not define who the people are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that really should not put a distance between us because and at the end of the day, we're from the same origins and we
Right.
relate to each other.
Right,
We have
that's
the-
like Koreans, Japanese, Chinese.
yeah.
Yeah, we hate each other like historically, but we get along when we're abroad.
Yeah, our culture is so same. Food, language, like we look same, and
Yes.
yeah, so
It's lovely. It's
That's
lovely.
good to hear. That's good to hear. So it's good to hear that you guys are having some kind of unity and a building community in Korea. But we have to get to like the serious part too. Before we go on, a special thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Naked Soul, bringing Korea into your hands with authentic, curated, made in Korea products you can't get on Amazon. They have fast global shipping, and right now, as of April 1st, they are having a limited sale on super high quality BTS D Festa photo books, celebrating BTS Jimin's successful solo album release. So go check it out along with other hip Korean products you can't find anywhere else other than Naked Soul.
Okay.
So a lot of people have asked me in the comments like, oh, can you ask about the experiences, like the bad experiences Indian people, Desi people, Pakistanis have had in Korea? For example, maybe some discrimination or racism, stuff like that. So have you had any of those experiences so far?
I want
Yes.
to share.
Yes, you should
Oh,
go
okay.
first.
Okay, so when they get to know about my country, okay, where are you from? Okay, I'm from India. Okay, so some people sometimes like look down because my country is developing. So they feel like, oh, there are so many poor people. Okay, there are so many rapes happening. There are so many,
Yes.
So this is sometimes they look down on me in that way.
Yes.
No, I cannot say I had that kind of many situations like that. But yeah, you can say 2-3 times it has happened. And there was one incident I want to share, which actually I felt really bad because I knew some Korean, and we were having dinner, and so we were talking about the brands, like the luxury brands. He just said like, oh, Chanel. Oh, Indian people don't know Chanel. Because
They don't know
Chanel. So I felt so embarrassed, and I stopped talking to that person.
Oh my
So
God.
this was very
Ignorant.
embarrassing, very like, yeah. So they feel like Indian people are poor.
They think we live under a rock.
yeah.
They generally do.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I understand that a lot of people think that Desi communities in general are like coming from a place of high crime rates,
Yes.
like the population under the poverty line is high. But you got to see the fact that like our countries have a very big population,
Right.
and if you actually check the statistics, the crime rate is actually decreasing. And depending on where you go, like there are safe spaces too.
Exactly. So for me, I mean, it's a very serious question, right? And it needs to be answered.
Yeah.
For me, again, my experience would be different than Neha's or Yuki's experience, right? Everyone has different experience. I would say like I have traveled a lot compared to other countries. I've been to 22 countries, and I feel like I felt more safe in Korea than other countries.
That's true.
It's compared
That's
to
true.
like in other countries, when it comes to racism, maybe someone would even snatch your hijab or something, or hit you,
Yes.
or say some abusive words to you. But that has never happened with me or any of my friends here in Korea. But yeah, definitely there are some problems. For example, I felt some bad one time when I was in Itaewon and we were going to a bar, a club, and it says like Indians, Pakistanis not allowed.
Yes. Yeah.
What? There
Yes.
was a sign
There
to
was
it?
a sign like
Yes.
Indians and Pakistanis are not allowed, and I was so
I saw
shocked.
that
Like,
video.
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically,
Specifically.
it's very
Yes.
like.
I
I've
was
seen this in
very shocked.
Holiday as well.
Yeah, so there definitely are bad incidents, but compared to other countries, I feel like still Korea is.
Korea. I can say like the 99.5%, 99.55 something percent. I have very good experience in Korea, but very
Yes.
0.1%. Yeah, like
Yeah.
2-3 times bad experience, but it doesn't
Yes.
make.
I agree with that because
give the bad
even
image of Korea.
my good experiences are more than my
Yes.
negative
Exactly.
experiences.
Much more, yeah.
Yes. And even for me, like I have had people tell me that I smell like curry.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
Yeah, this is true.
And then on top of that, I have had people tell me like, because I do a lot of these videos in the comment section. Sometimes when I try to tell my version of the truth of my experiences about Korea, people tend to get offended that I represented Korea in a negative lighting, but I'm not doing that. I'm just telling that, there are people who like say this, but the Korean community, like not all of them, a few of them have this dystopian view of Korea as the perfect country,
I understand.
which causes them to like say that, oh, go back to your country.
Right.
And a lot of them are misinformed about India. The information that they have about India is from like a lot of like a long back, actually, like during the independence time.
Right.
Contemporary India is very different and developed, and the society has definitely evolved, like the mentality as well. And usually I'm greeted with the stereotypes, which is not really nice, and it's a bit disheartening.
Right.
And then one thing happened that doesn't has to do with Desis, but probably with a lot of foreigners.
Yes.
It's like, sometimes you are sitting in a subway, and
They'll stare at you.
even though apart from staring, but even though there is an empty seat beside you,
Yes. They
they're
won't
gonna
sit next to you.
Something
Yeah.
that happens to you.
And or like this is what I experienced many times. Like I'm sitting in a bus, like there is a how can I say the seats are together and the Korean is sitting with me, but they try to maintain a distance with me. I don't know why do they do, but like I still wonder,
And
like because I'm foreigner or what, like.
Even for me during COVID, especially, this was something maybe foreigners experienced in general. But the bus driver would not let me get on for this one place where I used to teach English. And the thing is that you know how like the bus schedule is there for every driver. Every time I would reach at that time for the bus, the driver would not let me get on because I'm a foreigner. So I just stopped taking the bus. I would take the next one.
Oh no,
that's sad.
that's horrible.
That's sad.
Oh, I feel so bad for those bad experiences. Yeah.
But again, like we talk
Yeah,
about
of
experience,
course.
but
Yes.
still I had amazing time here.
experience.
Like
Yes.
I
I'm
highly
glad.
recommend
It
here.
cannot be compared with the good times we had.
Like I
I'm glad.
I used to work in a company, and my boss will let me go earlier during Ramadan time
Yes.
because she knew like I'm fasting. So she would give like she would like just go back home at 5 a.m. instead of 7 a.m.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Sorry. So she was very nice. They all instead during Chuseok they give you that ham, some canned something. So all of my employees, my colleagues, they were getting those canned hams, but
Spam,
for me, they would have the chicken breast, like that. They would take care of every small little detail. So
That's
true.
true.
Amazing experiences. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear that it's slowly changing, and I do
Yes.
feel it too, because like I feel like the ignorant people are mostly like older,
Yes.
conservative.
Yes.
Older
Older
generations.
people are
folks.
like that.
But like younger generations like me and below, honestly, nowadays the image of India, Desi, everything's like going
Changing,
actually
yes.
changing
It's
and
going
going
up.
better.
Yes.
Because like for instance, I don't know if this is related, but I am investing in the Indian market right now.
Yeah.
The Nifty.
It's a good place to invest right now.
Because like business reports are coming out and saying like India is going to be the next big
Definitely.
superpower,
Yes.
and it's going to be the leading economy.
You know,
According to-
I'm sorry, I was browsing my YouTube, Facebook, and I saw an ad. So it's a Korean investment company, and there it was a Facebook ad, and it was asking Korean people like, and it was showing the graph of Indian economy.
Yes.
And they were asking Korean people to invest in India.
Yeah.
Wow, it is.
My husband himself, he has so much interest in like Indian stock market
Yes.
and Indian economy. He always say to me like Korea's economy has already been like developed. It's at the particular stage, but
Yeah.
India is still
Saying
like he's
it's
like
going up.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
up.
And
So
also like if I've done research on this because of my classes, but had COVID not struck all the countries, India, China, and the States were supposed to be the top 3 by 2050. But because COVID has delayed the process a bit, India is likely to reach there by 2075 in the
Biggest
top
economy.
3 countries. Yes, but yes, the stock markets are doing well. The GDP is doing well.
Okay, that
apart
sounds
from
good to
India.
me.
India, let's talk
I have a
about
bit of money in there. Okay.
So a lot of like we were talking about India. So a lot of Koreans actually are coming to Pakistan also these days, especially to see the northern areas, because the northern side of Pakistan is very beautiful.
Yes,
It
it's
is
true.
I can
Natural
imagine.
beauty.
natural beauty. It's
Even
like
I
a
heard.
heaven on earth. So a lot of Koreans these days, they are traveling to Pakistan and exploring Pakistan. So I'm sure if you have any chance,
Of course,
do
it's
come
on
to
my
Pakistan
bucket list.
too.
Yeah,
And
like
India also, yeah.
Yeah.
right. That area in general, everybody's like, you have to go there and you'll have a spiritual experience
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
come
yes,
back.
it is a spiritual experience.
It's very different. And I've always gotten those comments like, people are like, where do you know about India? And mostly people say Delhi, New Delhi, Mumbai.
Yes.
And people are like, oh, India is like so big. You can
Yes.
never
Never.
have
Yes,
enough
yes.
of
have
it.
enough time to like explore all of it.
Yes.
And I'm sure about the whole Desi regions
Region.
too. So
Yes.
I'm very thrilled to
And
visit in the
one
future,
advice
yeah.
I would like to give: don't just read about India. Just
Yes.
come and
Just
experience
come and
what is
experience it.
written about. Like,
Yeah.
this is very how can I say it's not safe. This happens. Don't just believe. Just come and
I
see,
agree with
experience yourself, because what is written is not
true.
People
And-
are very welcoming.
It doesn't
They are
fit into
loving.
anything.
Yeah.
Like you just go and explore.
And I think that because there's a stereotypical image about the Desi community, the thing is that most of the media outlets don't really focus on the realistic sides. Like, for example, yes, we do have poverty, but it's not like a documentary on like the people in maybe the Thobi Ghats of India or like other regions. It's just about the negative sides of being there, according to most media outlets. So I agree with what she says. You should come and experience it firsthand, and people will actually enjoy it because there's so much more to India than the media outlets show.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I have to check it out for myself. I don't know when because I'm so busy nowadays, but definitely on my bucket list. But yeah, I'm very happy to hear all this change and positivity about the Desi community. Speaking of happy and positive, what have been one of your like most memorable, nice experiences in Korea that you would like to share?
Can I go first?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
So this was in 2019 when I first came to Korea, and that time I did not speak an ounce of Korean.
Okay.
So I went to Jeju because my dad said you should go explore and become independent. And I went to the Glass Museum, on a very rainy day, to the point that after visiting the museum, it suddenly started raining really heavily. My umbrella broke.
Oh, no.
And the nearby bus stop was it did not have a roof, and the bus was going to be like there in 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So the only place nearby was this restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant was like a very kind lady. She got me, she called me inside. She gave me like free food and a towel to like dry myself. And then after they closed, which was like literally an hour after that, they drove me to the nearest bus stop with a roof.
Wow.
And it was the sweetest act. And they like got my kakao information, and they told me that if you ever need help, even though we live in Jeju, we keep coming to Seoul or like Busan from time to time. So if you need help, please let us know, and we'll genuinely do our best. And that was the sweetest, most kindest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life.
Wow. Respect for that person.
Yeah.
that was so heartwarming. I'm still in that story. I feel like I'm in Jeju and like
You're
getting
imagining
hit by the rain and someone like helping me out. Yeah.
So touching.
Right. And what about you guys?
Okay, so I don't have any particular like memorable because I always have a good time in Korea, not as a particular experience, but I love that how Korean people are so kind. You cannot find any like the right direction. You find any Korean person ask, even though they cannot speak English, but still they put like more than 100%
To help
like
you.
they do. Like okay, so there was one time like I was looking for a particular place and I found one ajushi. So I asked like the directions, but couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
So took my hand. And even though that person was not going in that direction and took me there and then, okay, you arrive, okay, then I can
Yes,
go.
they guide you
Yeah,
there.
that experience was so touching for me. Like they go out of their way to help you.
Yes.
And one more thing which I really love about Korean people is like they do their best to show their best image of their country.
They do.
That's true.
That I
That's
think we
true.
should also learn. Like they try to help people. Like okay, so that a foreigner should not have bad image of their country. The person should be happy and they should not be uncomfortable. So
That's true. I
That
agree.
also has its pros and cons sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets overly patriotic.
patriotic, yes.
And yeah, but that's actually a good
but I
side.
think it's a good image. Like
Good image. Now the result is good soft
Yes.
power and stuff. But I feel like Desi people have that too because
Yes.
over the years in my channel, a lot of comments were always like, "Oh, India is good in this, Pakistan is good in this, that," and I had a whole list. So I was like basically learning in the comments. Oh, okay.
because of our welcoming nature.
Yeah.
It's like a thing in the Desi community. Like in Hindi, you say Atiti
Devo
Devo
Bhava.
Bhava.
Yeah, we should.
So,
The guest is the god.
yeah,
Like,
the guest is God. So
Ah.
usually we always learn to treat people with like love and kindness. Yeah. So it is there in the Desi community as well. Actually, a lot of the Desi mannerisms overlap with Korean mannerisms
Yes,
in terms
so
of being
similar.
kind and polite.
Yeah.
Okay, we're brothers then. Yeah.
I mean, we do have historical ties. So
We do. And
makes
since
sense.
Desi is an emotion, like we could share it too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it could be similar to Korean jong.
Yes. Like I think the Korean term for it's minjong.
Jong?
Chong,
Minjong?
yeah,
Yeah,
chong,
jong.
chong.
Yeah, that was what I was saying.
Chong,
Yeah. Yeah, we share similar traits. Okay. And Majid?
So for me, like again, just like Neha said, I have a lot of. I mean, so far I have really good experiences here in Korea. But I remember when I first came to Korea in my it was first week or second week, I kind of got lost. I was walking near my university and I lost the way. So now, in Pakistan, the most scariest place apart from a ghost house is police station.
Police
No
station.
one would want to go and visit a police station.
Same here.
But in Korea, I remember I lost my way and I was like, what should I do? And there was this police station. It was like 9 p.m. I don't know what happened. I just went inside and I told them like, Kyung University. I didn't know anything at that time about Korean. So they were trying to say something and I was like, no. I was kind of scared at the same time because it was police station. So they calmed me down and they took me in their car and then they brought me to my university. I was like, this
So
is
you rode a police car.
Yeah, police. They were so nice. Like
Wow.
they drove me to my university's dormitory.
That's a unique experience.
Because
Yeah.
I think you cannot relate to this thing, but we Desi people can relate. We are so scared of
No, the
police.
police,
Like in
yeah.
our
Oh,
own
really?
country. I don't like. We cannot. I can't even explain
I
why.
can't,
I
yeah,
get
exactly.
anxious every time we
Like-
get pulled up for something. It's just
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but in Korea,
But in Korea, like some of the even police stations are even very cute. Like
Yeah, they have like
so
cute
cute.
characters
So-
there.
Yeah.
But that's actually like some people are very negative towards that, Korean people, because they are like the police should have more authority because like Korean people think of the police as like their servants or something. So they
Oh.
treat them very bad. But yeah, like there's pros and
Pros
cons
and
for
cons.
that as well.
it's very opposite
Like
to
everything
actually.
has pros and
Yeah,
cons at this
exactly.
point. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, that's very good to hear. So we're almost at an hour point right now. We need to wrap up actually. So before we wrap up, I would like to ask you guys, what would be your biggest advice to people who would want to visit or come to Korea soon?
Since I am a student, I can give advice to students. The thing is that a lot of them come here because of K-pop or like
this was-
K-dramas and the K-wave. But the thing is, they do not research the country enough or like the food they eat, because in India you have such a diverse population. You have vegetarians, you have Jains,
Yeah.
and like the dietary requirements are different. And sometimes they're unable to adjust to the culture and they're unable to adjust to the food and the lifestyle in Korea, which causes them to hate on it and like dislike it or even drop out of college. I know people from the Desi community who disliked living here. And the thing is that do not come here just because of K-pop and K-dramas or like fetishizing
Yeah.
Asian women or men and other genders, but you should come here genuinely because you're interested. Yes, it will be a bit difficult when you're here. You know, it's hard to live away from your family and adjust to a completely new environment.
Right.
But as long as you're well researched and as long as you think you can, get accustomed to it, it will be like still like practically easy for you to like get like accustomed. So this would be my advice to like all the young people who dream to come to Korea. Like come here. Yes, like do your best, come here. I definitely recommend it. It's a lovely experience. But at the same time, your reason should not be for the fetishization of the Asian community or for that matter, just based off of K-waves.
Yeah.
Like there are good and bad experiences.
Right. Okay. That's very good words for the people out there. Just don't come here for BTS. Like
Yeah.
you're not
Yes.
going to see BTS on the streets.
You won't.
In short.
Yeah.
Okay, so my advice is like very similar to Yukta. Actually, Korea is such a beautiful country. I had a very good time here, but it's not a fantasy. Korea is not a fantasy. It's not that you will come here and you will find a lot of oppas here, and BTS is waiting for you at the airport. It's not. It's a reality here.
Right.
So you have the work culture is difficult. Okay, the jobs are very limited. So to get a career here, you should have a good research and you should know the language. Plus,
Yes.
you should have a skill. So there are two things you should have. Have a good research. See, like, is there a career or not? Then decide. Rather than
Yes.
have a big culture shock and like be disappointed after coming here. So yeah, do a good research. I will say.
Okay. Do your research, guys,
Yeah.
before
Yes.
you come. And Majid.
Okay, I would like to do a little bit of comparative analysis compared to other
Oh.
countries, because it's nice both of you talk about there are good and bad things, but which is in every country. It doesn't matter where you
Yes.
go, there will be good and bad
Right.
things at the same time. But now I want to compare Korea with other countries, other Western countries, other Middle Eastern countries where a lot of Desis go there. So there's a huge diaspora of Pakistanis and Indians living in Saudi Arabia, living in Dubai
Oh, yes.
and Qatar. So now, you're dead?
Yeah, like my family is based in Dubai now.
Oh, okay.
I see. So maybe you can also, relate to that. I feel like Korea is still much better than those countries in a lot of different ways. For example, if we talk about racism here, it's much safer here. Like no one's gonna physically attack you or verbally attack you or abuse you. In that regard, it's quite safe. For girls, especially going out at night, it's much safer. You can go out at 3 a.m.,
we
4
can
a.m.
come to our house like 2 a.m.,
2 a.m.,
3
3 a.m.,
a.m.
yeah, it's-
You'll get the bus, you'll get the taxi.
Yes.
Yeah, like 99% of the time, nothing's gonna happen to you. I feel like Korean people respect, for example, I feel like in Pakistan, if something happens with me, I would, when it comes to police, I would trust more Korean police, or
Yes,
I would trust more the judicial procedure and everything here than the things back home, because I know they follow the rules.
Oh,
and
under
everything.
the table.
Yeah.
Yes.
Under the table. What is that?
That's
Like
bribery.
bribery. Oh, yeah.
Bribery. And you get to, like, Korea is not as expensive country as your
The
other
other-
Europeans or
Yes,
Western countries.
Western
You don't pay
countries.
that much tax as in other countries, and the cost is not very cheap, but it's kind of like okay,
Like it's
what-
livable.
it's livable.
It's
Exactly.
manageable.
Manageable. And like Neha was saying, it's beautiful country. There's so much things to explore, and yeah, you get to enjoy a lot of concerts too. You don't have to fly all the way to LA to attend a concert.
Yes.
There will be a lot of things happening here.
There's
so
also free concerts.
free concerts too,
Right.
especially for in the universities. You're a
Yes.
student,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
See,
yes.
like in Korea, you have so much free things to attend.
Exactly,
Actually, I feel,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
never get bored. Like
Yeah, you
without
never
paying
get
any
bored. There's
money,
always something
you
new.
are going somewhere on Sundays, like weekends.
Yeah.
You're going somewhere.
Exactly. So yeah, again, definitely do your research. But in my view, it's still much better
Better.
country than other countries. And I hope to see you guys here in Korea also one day.
Yeah. See, I told you, Majid is the best Korean ambassador out there.
Yes.
You know, this is so strange. Like when I was staying in India, I used to watch his videos. Like,
yeah.
I never, imagine like I will be
We're
sitting
sitting all
with
together.
Majid. Like how
Yeah.
lucky
Me
I
neither.
am.
Like I used to watch his videos.
DKDK,
Yeah,
yeah.
so informative.
DKDKTV, and here I am now.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
such a small small world we
Yeah.
all live in.
Yes.
And
Really,
you
really.
can
so
never
good to see.
imagine.
Yeah, we manifested, I think.
Yes, the opportunities you get here are unimaginably like just surreal, because I think like in Bollywood it's really hard to get into because of nepotism, and also because it's not that simple. Like it's not easy here as well. But if you work hard,
Yeah.
you can definitely get somewhere
You
where you
mean
want
in
to.
terms
Just
of
put
the
yourself out there.
Entertainment industry, yeah.
Exactly. Like I was saying to Neha, like for example, if you are in States or Australia, New Zealand, or let's say UK or France, it would be difficult for you to get into
Yes.
those
The circles.
entertainment industry,
I
because
agree.
here the market is still not that saturated. You have a lot of opportunities. For example, we appeared on David's channel, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
appeared
It would be
here.
not- who knew?
And there's going to be more and more opportunities in the
Yeah,
future because
this video is gonna make us famous.
not because of this video,
please.
but Korea is becoming more open to like multiculturalism,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's having a population problem as
I'm
well. So-
agree.
I'm really looking forward. Like actually, it's happening. Like I want to see the Korea to be more multicultural,
Yes,
more
yes,
foreigners
yes.
to come here, more job opportunities.
It's going to become like
Yes.
that
Yeah.
soon.
And
So
more acceptance of the brown community as well.
community,
Because
yes.
as somebody who's working in the entertainment industry and is a model, I still think that they do not want as many Indians or like Desis or like brown community people from those communities. And I have friends and they would agree as well. But at the same time, because there are new opportunities, there were not as many in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's changing.
it's evolving, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah. I can see Korea in like maybe a decade, changing a little bit like Singapore, maybe. Like
Yes,
a
yes,
very-
yes,
Exactly.
yes, yes,
Right, it's
definitely.
very
Singapore is so
similar
multicultural,
environment
yes.
and very so yeah. I hope it becomes like that.
Actually, being a foreigner, it feels so nice to even see multicultural, like faces, like foreigners, so many foreigners.
Yes.
You feel like you are accepted in this environment,
Right,
and
right.
you don't feel like the out of the crowd.
And just one of my advice, like the most important but obvious, learn Korean.
please.
Yeah.
Yes,
It makes your life so
like how do you
simple.
say do as the Romans do? Like why?
Yeah.
Do in
Why
Rome as the
Rome?
Romans do.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not just that, of course, that too, but like if you learn Korean, more opportunities.
More
will come.
opportunities.
And it'll be good for you.
And
So, yeah.
all the important things are in Korean. So the bank, the health insurance, the immigration
Right.
office, everything you need to speak Korean for. And the more Korean you speak, the easier it gets.
Yeah,
Yes.
life will be easier, and you get to understand culture
Yes.
deeply also.
And I want to appreciate one thing which I love about Korea is the Korea's best customer service.
Oh,
my God.
man.
I don't
Yes.
think anyone can
Yes,
compete
yes,
with
yes.
Korea's customer service. It's too good.
Too
Like
good,
you go
too
to the
good.
bank, you go anywhere, you will be treated as like I have, yeah, it's so good. And the details, they go so much in details. Like you
They-
never
yes.
knew. Like okay, this thing
And they
also
solve it
matters.
very quickly.
They solve so quickly. They serve you so well. Like oh my God, I never knew that these small things also matter.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so-
understand that.
Yeah.
I got my license. So after I gave my exam here in Korea, my driving license, I got my license the same day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yes.
very fast.
And
It's
after
very
like 2
fast.
weeks, I went to get my international license, and I got it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That
Definitely
will
very
not
fast.
happen in Pakistan or
Yeah.
in India. So
Very
yeah, customer
quick.
service.
Very pali-pali.
Yeah, very
fast,
pali
fast.
pali.
Yeah.
It's very good actually.
Pros and cons for that.
Yes, pros and
No,
cons
but
for that.
this is such a
Yeah. It's
I
convenient for
appreciate-
the average person.
yeah.
It can be stressful, but
Yeah.
convenient.
But
Yeah.
even on the phone calls, even if you call at any customer service helpline, they try
are
their
so
best
best
to
to-
serve,
yes.
give you the best
Yes,
experience.
as soon as possible.
I called the immigration office, office 1345 on Friday night, like last year, and I was asking the lady something, and she explained to me in 10 minutes, and after that I was like, okay, thank you. But you know what happens on Monday? I got a call from 1345, and it was the same lady, and then she was
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you something.
Yeah.
There is something that you have to do, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what, you know, like they are
Nice way.
super nice. Even immigration officer, like they call you like from that number and to help you out.
Yeah.
I'm like so impressed.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Wow. I was trying to wrap up, but like, you guys went
I mean, I think you need to have a part two.
Now you know
Yeah,
how much.
we should have
how much
part
we,
two.
So okay, one more thing I didn't tell. Like with Desi people love to talk.
Yes.
We don't want to
I
stop.
can-
You need to have
We
a
love
part
to talk.
two.
I can definitely see that.
There's a lot of uncovered ground still.
Of course.
and we love to like and share also.
Yeah, one part it's a shame of is like I was trying to ask about your dating experiences, which
You
is
can ask
one of
us.
the biggest topics.
Oh.
But we are out of time
Oh,
today,
no.
so we might save that for another episode.
Maybe
Yeah.
there can come a second part.
Right. Part 2.
You
Look
should
forward
leave
to
a
that.
comment if you want us
Yeah.
again.
Yes, please. So yeah, thank you for loving Korea and talking about your experiences, sharing them in Korean Pizza Club today. It was lovely to have you guys. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
coming. You
Thank you
guys
for
are
having
lovely.
us.
So much. Thank
Yeah.
you
so
for
much
having us.
everyone for
Like
watching.
definitely I agree to Desi people talk a lot because like I haven't seen so much conversations go on in an hour right
like,
now.
It's like we are not done yet. We can talk for like.
Loved it.
And that's the thing, you know, when we get with our friends, like in the Desi community, we keep talking for hours and hours about the
Yeah.
things.
So now you know we don't need soju
Yeah.
to
Right.
we are very extrovert people.
Right.
Yes.
Love it. Just love the energy. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. And just a big shout out to Naked Soul for sponsoring this episode. If you want these BTSV photo cards and photo books, go check it out on nakedsoul.kr. Yeah, that was it for this episode of Korean Pizza Club. Thank you for listening. Please leave a like, comment on the episode, and also please give the podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast. If you want to see these guys again, give them a big round of applause and support on the comment section. Go follow them on their Instagram accounts and YouTube channels, and we will see you guys next time.
Sure. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Annyeong.
Thank you for
Annyeong.
having us.